Well, dry conditions in our region, but for how long? How long will that hold up throughout the week? Let's send it over to Greg for the answers.
Well, speaking of the rain, too, last night we mentioned before we went off the air that it was going to hug along I-94 and some significant amounts could happen. And really it was. Some of these areas up there picked up 3 to 5 inches, but in a very narrow corridor. They had some issues, like the Black River actually rose about 2 to 3 feet too with this. So we're going to see more of type of wet conditions tomorrow, and we could have some heavy rainfall, although we're probably not going to see this type of training or stationary effect that happened last night for the next hour. But now we do have the storms coming instead. There's kind of two periods, general periods of showers and thunderstorms. Doesn't mean the other period won't have it. We're looking at mainly about 9 a.m. to about 2 p.m. I think there'll be a little bit of a break. Doesn't mean everyone will not see activity between 2 and 5, and then another round potentially 5 to about 9 p.m. And then I think everything really dwindles pretty quickly after 9. The good news is Sunday is looking cooler, less humid, and plenty of sunshine too. It actually will be probably the best day overall to be outside of the whole period here. The severe threat is there. It's going to be kind of pulse or isolated in nature. Kind of we saw some of that last night too. I'm not expecting a widespread severe event, but you could see some of those events get damaging winds and hail too with it. Now overall we're going to wake up mostly dry until we get about 7 or 8. There'll be activity here. Here's the first line, kind of a leftover from Saturday night that'll be coming through. So about 8 to 9 you'll see some activity north of Eau Claire. Eventually by after about 11 to maybe noon you'll start seeing that approach the Mississippi River, get towards La Crosse. That activity will kind of sweep across the area, eventually coming through and kind of falling apart by about 1 to 2. Once that falls apart, we might have a little bit of break. Here's the cold front right there coming through. So then we'll have another line probably developing in the afternoon at some point. This will be a narrow, thin line. Could potentially be some stronger storms. You see about 5. It comes through Eau Claire, stretching down to Rochester. That begins to push east towards La Crosse, probably about 6 to 7. You see a little bit ramp up as it gets towards southwest Wisconsin. A little more daytime heating here could help to make these a little bit stronger as they come through about 7 to 8. And then by the time we get to 9, we'll see all that activity begin to push east. A few lingering showers, isolated maybe, that'll continue for a few hours, but generally I think drier conditions after about 9 p.m. And by the time we get to midnight and going on, it's going to clear out pretty nicely for Sunday. Temperatures, as noted, it's a little bit still warm towards southwest Wisconsin because of daytime heating and missing some of the activity. Otherwise, we're going to have enough cloud cover to keep the temperatures down from what we had today, maybe about 5 to 6 degrees, although humidity will still remain there. Less humid, really nice conditions for Sunday, low 80s, mid 80s, a lot of sunshine too with the north wind, so really it's going to be a refreshing change in the atmosphere around this area. And the good news is it continues on Monday. We kind of turn the winds around a little bit, but still low to mid 80s, humidity wise, still low. Now we do have rain chances coming in next week. There's the chances that we're going on for Saturday, Sunday not much. And then going into Tuesday and Wednesday, another system begins to approach from the northwest. Showers potentially will start coming through. This will be a weaker system, so we're looking maybe Tuesday and Wednesday potentially for some showers possible coming through. A lot of questions still remain how much moisture this will be able to work with, but we're not expecting a lot of precipitation. But that's our next chance coming with maybe more towards the weekend. The good news is we're not expecting a really big swing up in temperatures prior to that coming. I'm going just back up a few degrees for Tuesday before we come back down Wednesday and Thursday, and then a cooler system maybe towards next week, and there is a trend to be a little bit cooler going into next week, and which means we could be back in the upper 70s, low 80s.
Oh, 70s. I wasn't expecting to
well,
hear it.
yeah, I remember Lady Smith area could be in the mid to upper 70s time of year. So, but yeah, tomorrow definitely keep the app handy. You got outdoor plans. Stay tuned. We will have showers and thunderstorms out there, and we'll keep note if we get any strong or severe.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Greg.